every day.
Probably stuck in one of those red lights that you put in. Okay, 6:30. Friday for a long weekend. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Labor Day weekend approaches. So this week coming up, our code of conduct is strive for restraint, discretion, and integrity. It's a really good one. We're going to talk a little bit about behaviors here in a little bit, but another 7 days without a recordable injury, so excellent job. Keep up with the communication, keep up working together as a team and identifying those hazards and controlling those hazards with our safety systems that we have implemented. So this week, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about safety behaviors. I think a lot of people know by now, last Friday, there was multiple fatalities in the state of Vermont. Very unfortunate events that happened. Definitely kind of an underlying cause was, we're talking about behaviors. Definitely was a common denominator. A lot of poor decisions were made by individuals that caused 2 fatalities in the state in the construction industry. So just kind of highlight some of the root cause of the really at risk or unsafe behaviors that are out there that are in every single one of us. If we can kind of highlight and focus our attention a little bit in eliminating these types of behaviors on our projects and us as individuals as we're in and out of work, and it's a good time to reflect outside of work as much as inside of work, is to really try to look at complacency, distraction, exhaustion, and overconfidence and arrogance. These right here are always the root causes. When something does happen, you can really pinpoint into these types of behaviors. So first, with complacency. Complacency is a feeling of quite pleasure or security while often unaware of some potential dangers. So don't get fooled because the process worked 1,000 times before without an incident. Be ready, look for problems, take corrective action, and maintain good safe practices. One of the reasons why we do these safety meetings each week, 15 minutes, is so we don't get kind of complacent with safety. I think it's very important that we highlight it each week. There's a lot of companies out there that'll do it one day a year and that's it. And then there's no really safety on the projects other than the day-to-day operations. So National Safety Council, every 7 seconds, a worker is injured on the job. In America, they're saying. Some type of injury could be very minor or could be very serious, but every second. So we can't get complacent. We've got to always stay focused, be aware of our surroundings, look out for each other, keep your head on a swivel. So distractions kind of leads into that is keep your head in the game. Had an argument with your spouse or loved one this morning, heard comments from the boss, thinking about the weekend, whatever it is. If you can't stay focused on the task, then you won't have control over your work. All right, so focus on what we can control. Don't worry about all the noise and some of the BS that's out there. We need to really be focusing on our job and on our teams. Pay full attention and watch out for the safety of your coworkers. The more that we can look out for each other, the better we're going to be as an organization, in team building. So try to eliminate distractions. If you see some distraction, bring it to attention. Hey, we need to focus. And exhaustion, this time of year, the dog days of summer, it's a much needed 3-day weekend. I hope everybody can get out and do the things that they want to this weekend. But again, don't put yourself in a situation that compromises the safety of yourself, your coworkers, and the public. Avoid excessive indulgence before a workday. Get plenty of sleep. Take frequent breaks when performing monotonous work. Thank you. So always be mentally alert and physically rested. National Safety Council says you should roughly try to get 7 hours of sleep. So try to figure out how to get 7 hours of sleep. That way your body can hopefully rebound from the long work days that we are putting in. So something to think about there. And then the last one is overconfidence and ignorance. So don't get blinded by the overconfidence. When we get good at a task, it is easy to get overconfident. We become an expert at a task only after we become really good at the task and understand that our human, physical, and mental limitations will always keep us from being perfect at a task. No one's perfect. We're never going to be 100% great at everything. So humility always comes after an accident. So what I mean by that is we humble ourselves after something bad happens. So try to think about this. Try to avoid something bad happens by trying to stay humble and be respectful of the dangers that are out there in the construction industry. As soon as we start getting blinded by that's not going to happen to me type of mentality, something is going to happen, because we went back a couple slides. Something happens every 7 seconds in the construction industry. So humble yourself out there, humble each other. Let's really try to make sure that these types of behaviors we're trying to eliminate and prevent here at Engineers Construction. So hopefully, we go home safe and sound each and every day. Any questions? Ben.
In an effort to pre-humble everyone, just thank everyone. Thank all your fellow workers, and thank everybody for all the effort that everybody's put in up to this point this year. And we're in a situation right now, we're at that home stretch of trying to get things done to the end of the season, and everybody's been working really hard. So I want to acknowledge that. I know Ken will probably reiterate that, but also just think about some of these things. It's hard to do this. Theoretically, we're looking at it and we get it, but it's hard to do that when you're in that state of mind of we gotta get this done. The days are getting shorter. The weekend work is happening. The nighttime work is happening. We've got a couple of jobs that are going to be working night and day coming up. So the danger and the potential for these things is probably at a higher level maybe right now when we get tired and when we let the stuff get to us.
Yep.
So if we can get in that state that you mentioned of kind of being a little bit pre-humbled and appreciate what we have. I appreciate the quality of all of you that I get to work with here. And I think you guys should always just think of that in the back of your mind. I think you have a higher level of quality of people that to work with here than you would if you were somewhere else because of this stuff that we do. Yeah. And I appreciate this stuff. I want you guys to all appreciate it. And let's get to the end of the season with a high number for those days that we can avoid any kind of an incident. And let's go home safe. And take the next couple of days and do something with your family, do something with your friends, and take a breather. Take a little bit of a breather because we've got to get back on the horse on Tuesday and start doing it again.
Yep.
So appreciation, I think, should be extended to everyone equally for what you guys do out there. So that's all.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Pass it over again.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Well said. So let's see here. Announcements. Oh, the mouse. Okay.
Oh, I had one other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't forget to take care of all our equipment and tools. A couple of guys have had some frustrations on the tools that have been jumping around between jobs, and make sure that before that equipment leaves that it's taking grease every day, because if it's not, let the guys know. They'll come out and help you do it. But we've got a couple of machines out there. I've heard that some of the guys that really take care of them and grease them, they get them, and that's really frustrating for them because we tell you all, take care of it like it was your own. And when they get it and it's obvious that they can't get grease into a fitting that's been maybe missed or ignored. That's very frustrating for the guys and that can contribute to the stuff that we were just talking about when people get a little bit disgruntled and say, nobody cares. Screw it.
Yep.
The worst thing that can happen is somebody says, you know what? I'm not going to do it. They didn't do it. I'm not going to do it. And that kind of contributes a little bit. You never know, that machine might go up to Pumpkin Hill.
Yeah,
that machine might go to Pumpkin Hill after it comes off your job.
Charlie just sent. I'm gonna go look at that skid steer that Charlie brought over.
I didn't drop it off.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get going here on announcements. New fuel cards. New fuel cards are out, so stop by to exchange that card. If you have a blue card, then it needs to be exchanged. Okay. Reminder: the school is back in session, so be careful out there. Students are out in the mornings, in the afternoons, buses. And make sure you watch for those buses. If they have their red lights or yellow going to red, stop before you get there. So this is a holiday weekend. On Monday, the 2nd is Labor Day, a company holiday. So please secure your job site like we always try to do, because things happen. The public, we need to protect the public. We need to protect our own equipment and job site from vandalism or theft or anything, but also for security so that some pedestrian or something doesn't walk through our job site and get injured. And then all payroll entries have to be done by 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And also, ECI wishes everybody a happy and safe Labor Day weekend for all our employees, but also our subcontractors, vendors, and consultants, everybody who makes stuff happen. We put in, thank you all, everyone, for a lot of hard work. It takes a lot to get here at this time of year, but we still got a lot left to go, like Ben said.
Buses, Kenny?
What's that?
Even in 4-lane traffic, buses get stopped.
Unless you're like a divided road.
People drive right by.
The way I understand it, and I've tried to figure it out, is that like for example, on Shelburne Road, where it's separated like Tractor Supply area, I think, and Freight Line, or not
With an actual
Kenworth,
curb.
with actual curb and trees there, that you don't have to stop. But if you have just a yellow line, you need to stop no matter where that bus is in that section. So this is obviously a hard one to talk about here. I'm sure most of you, all you know, there was a tragic, fatal accident on our job site last week. So this guy, James Algers, is a subcontractor working for LPD Flagging. He was fatally injured last Friday morning after being struck by an impaired motorist who was traveling through our job site in New Haven. So James paid the ultimate sacrifice for performing his duties, protecting the traveling public and protecting ECI workers, protecting us out there. And we're forever grateful to James, and we offer our sincere condolences as a company and I'm sure individually to his family, friends, and coworkers. There is an obituary out. It's from Kidder Memorial. The services are in Swanton on Sunday, I believe it was. And also there is a mention for donations, if anyone's interested, to the American Traffic Safety Foundation, suggested in the obituary, and also the Mike Lawyer Foundation will be doing something too. So if you have an interest and feel compelled to give something, I'm sure it doesn't have to be much, that there's a couple options here. So just in final note here, the accident is a painful reminder to all of us of the hazards around working around traffic. And we recognize that our flaggers are on that front line of this hazard while protecting ECI's workers. And for that, we're very thankful for their service. It's something that's overlooked because we're all busy focusing, doing our thing. But those guys are right there to protect us, and they're on that front line, and these guys paid the price. Very sad situation. So moving on here, we've been talking about the daily time reporting and trying to get prompt on our reports so that the information is available quickly and it's still fresh in everybody's mind when they put it on into the system. And for project we're profiling this week, again, the Montpelier Union, I was so focused on writing the other part. That's not a high school, that's a elementary school. Sorry.
It's playground.
Yeah. Yeah, playground for the high school kids.
True millennials.
Yeah. Scope of work, it's all done. The scope of work was excavation, disposal of contaminated soils, really just urban soils there. That was the problem. Apparently there had been some old sites and fires and things and just debris and filth from around the city that came in, and throughout the years, nothing serious, but it was dealt with. Yeah, there was updates and additions to the stormwater treatment, design and installation of new retaining walls around the perimeter, and as well as for some of the stormwater treatment areas, and many landscaping and play structures were installed. Here's one of the courtyards there, all nicely paved and yeah, very nice, green, very green. It's another one here looking at the backyard. with some of the structures there, the play structures. And this is one of the rock garden-like wetland treatment areas, which are gabion walls, very nicely done, look real sharp. Very,
Them aren't fun to put in.
yeah, I'll bet, yeah. Oh, I was going to have you do another one, Charles. Nick's shaking his head, oh, wait. So then they had this ribbon cutting ceremony on, I guess it was Wednesday afternoon. The rain held off nicely. And then they got together and a bunch of speeches by the officials of the school and so on, and fundraisers. And then they cut the ribbon and all the kids ran up and got on this very interesting jungle gym type structure. And another picture of all the crowd there. Yeah, it was a really good turnout. It's very much an urban, close-knit school community, very tight community because they're all really local to the school. So, nice little neighborhood. And from the photo archive, this is a picture from the take-up of the Lamoille Valley Railroad, which is now the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. Now I believe that's right there in Cambridge, across from Courses, the old course. So we got. Remember, have a safe and happy holiday out there.